Alright guys, so today I'm teaching you a really nice self-working effect that involves no setup and it's completely mind-boggling. So the history on this effect goes back to the days of Bruce Servan and Di Vernon. They teamed up and got together and they made up this trick which was called originally the Vietnam trick. Now later they showed this effect to Harry Lorraine and he worked out a different method completely which involved a pretty heavy setup and he put this effect in his book Rim Shots which he calls the Amazing Prediction. Now both the Vietnam trick and the Amazing Prediction are just great effects and they're pretty similar but both have their weaknesses and their strong points, and so what I did to it is I wanted to eliminate the weak points and only have the strong points and eliminate the knacky get into with the Vietnam trick altogether. I came up with a different ending and it's sort of like a magician fooler and I think you're gonna like it a lot, so without any more talking, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so here's what this effect might look like. I'll demo this for you, and after I do that, I'll teach you exactly what I'm doing here. Alright, so, see, most people predict with one card, but I'm an extremist. I predict with two cards, so I'll put my two cards down like this, and we'll save those for later. Alright, so now, the effect is like this. I don't want to know anything about what's going on, so why don't you take those cards I just gave you and give them a good mix, so they do. Now, I could know, because I gave them to you, about how many cards you might have, but I don't want to know anything, so why don't you just pop some right back on the deck, and they do that. It doesn't matter how much they have, and we'll give it a good shuffle just to make these cards up back on the deck in a cut like this. So nobody can know the number of cards you have. Now, that's fair to say, right? They say yes. Now, normally, I would look away at this point and have the person count these cards, and this number of cards would be a secret, but since we're doing this on camera for one person, I'll just have to count them, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3 cards, but nobody knows that, just this person, okay? So now, I would take some cards, and I'm going to show you some cards, and when I get to your number, remember the card at that number, okay? So I go like this, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now ask them, you have a card yet? They would say yes. Okay, so now let's do this. There's no way that I could have known beforehand how many cards you would put back or what number you would get, and especially after you shuffle. There's no way that I could know right now what card you're just thinking of. This is completely fair to say, and it's a true statement. But what if I had a certain feeling about a card that you might think of? That's why I predict with two cards here, you see. I have here a 3. I might have thought you would think of a 3, but it's not the 3 of clubs. See, I knew that you would be thinking of the 3 of hearts. That's pretty amazing, right? But watch, it gets better. Look, I don't know exactly where your card is, but let's kind of mix these up a little bit. As I deal cards, you're just going to tell me when to stop as I deal them like this. Maybe they say stop right here. We'll put the rest on top of here like this. Now, there's no way I could have known, really, when you would say stop. But maybe I had a little bit of a feeling when that would happen. Because you see here, these two cards not only predict what card you're thinking of, but they also predict something else. Here we have an 8 and a 3. That makes 11. Do me a favor, count to the 11th card and see what card we get. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And it is the 3 of hearts. The very card they were just thinking of all along. Alright guys, so here's how you do this effect. So first of all, what I've added to it was the ending where you deal cards and they say stop and it's at that number with the predicted cards. Now the other addition I put on it was eliminating the use of having to remember the 11th card as you spread through. It just gets kind of knacky, and I've eliminated that altogether and come up with a different way to do it, okay? So this is how you do it. Okay, so the method is this. You can really have them shuffle as much as they want to, and when you take it back, you want to just look at the bottom card, and this bottom card will be the card they eventually think of, guys, okay? So, having said that, you want to have them shuffle in a way where nobody can really see or maybe catch a glimpse of what the bottom card is. So after they shuffle, you have them put it down and have them give the deck a cut. That way, there is no chance of anybody glimpsing accidentally the bottom card. So when you take it back, you just pick it up like this and put the faces towards yourself, and you go through and explain that you'll take out a card. You say, most people predict with one card, but I'm an extremist. I predict with two cards, and the two cards that you take out matters a lot in relation to the bottom card. Whatever card is on the bottom of the deck, you always subtract it from 11. In this case, 1 from 11 gives us 10. Okay, so the card I take out first will always be that sum and also the same suit. So in this case, I want to take out the 10 of diamonds. If you had a face card, you would simply just, in the guise of looking through cards, just cut any number card back to the face of the deck, and it's not a sneaky thing. You're just doing this in the guise of looking for some cards, okay? So in this case, I cut a 3 to the face, so I now know that my card is going to have to be the 9 of spades, because 3 from 11 is 9, and the same suit, we need to take out the 9 of spades first, all right? So again, we know basic math, guys. If it's a 7, you want to take out the 4 of diamonds. So we're going through, and please don't flash this bottom card, because that card is going to be their card, right? And this, it'll give it away, obviously, all right? So you go through, and you want to look for the 4 of diamonds first. You just go through like this. As soon as you see it, you put it down face down like this so they cannot see it. Next, the card you want to take out is any other 7, okay? I like to use a black 7. That way it's in contrast in color to the 4, but it's not important. It's just what I like to do, all right? So any other 7, the other one will always be the same value as the bottom card there, right? So any other 7, I like to use a black 7. Go through and take out that 7 like this. Now what we have here, these two cards match what the bottom card is, so it'll be the 7 of diamonds for our predicted card there. But like I said, nobody ever sees the bottom card or these two cards here, all right? So now you explain your pattern is, this is a trick where I know nothing about what you're going to do, all right? So I want to know nothing about what you're going to do. And as you say this, you just count off 10 cards. You always give them exactly 10 cards. And you do that like this. You go 3, 2, 2, 3, just like this, and just give it to them real sloppily like that, like you don't care about the cards. All right, you don't want to act like you're counting cards. Just as you're talking, say this is a trick where I don't want to know anything about what you're gonna do, and just do it casually and nonchalantly, as if you don't care. But it's always 10 cards. It's always the 3, 2, 2, 3 method, which is an Alex Emslie idea. So thanks to him for that. Now, as you're still talking, you want to transfer this bottom card to the top of the deck with an overhand shuffle. All right, so as you're talking, you say, I don't want to know anything about what you're going to do, so why don't you give those cards a shuffle like this? And it doesn't matter that these cards are being shuffled. It doesn't matter for the trick, but your justification and your handling suggests that you don't care. And later on, they'll think, oh, I shuffled the cards. I shuffled like twice, right? But you do that, you're shuffling as they're shuffling too, but you just want to get that 7, the bottom card, to the top of the deck. So after they shuffle, you say, look, I could maybe know how many cards you have because I gave them to you, right? And you say, but I don't want to know anything, so why don't you just give me back some cards I don't want to know at all? And so they'll just give you some cards back. It could be any amount. It doesn't matter at this point how many they give back to you. So maybe it's this many right here. Then you can give it like a false shuffle just to give the illusion that they're mixing the deck, but really just they need to stay on top. Now you say, look, I'll turn around and I want you to silently count your cards, but keep it a secret. Only you can know the number of your secret cards, all right? So they count these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, and they do it quiet so that nobody can know but them what their secret number is. Now, as you're doing that, you just silently count off 10 cards again, just like you did before. So it's 3, 2, 2, 3, and just do it casually as they're behind or whatever. Just do it 3, 2, 2, 3 like this and put the deck aside. Now you say, look, whatever number you have, whatever your secret number is, I want you to remember that card at that number. So now you turn the packet face up and you count 1 through 10. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Have you got one yet? They say yes, because the fifth card is the predicted card, right? It'll always happen like that. So a good thing to keep in mind here, since you know what the card is, you'll always know what their number is too. All right, so you want to keep that in mind for the further counting thing at the end. All right, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that card there, so you know what their number is 5 already. So you might be able to do something with that as well if you want to. All right, so you know, keep in mind their number is 5. So 5, 6, 7. Have you got one yet? They say yes. Now you just ask them to pop these cards back on here like this, face up, and to turn the whole deck face down. Now you say, look, there's no way I could have known how many cards you would take off. There's no way I could know what card you're thinking of right now because you shuffle the cards. All right. So, but what if I had a certain feeling? See, I had a feeling that you might be thinking of a 7, but not the black 7. I thought you'd be thinking of a red 7. In this case, the 7 of diamonds. Is that correct? And they freak out. They say yes. Now, check this out. If you simply reverse the order of this packet, their chosen card was always going to be at number 11. All right, but since you know what their number is, you can start dealing cards like this. Since we know it's 5 in this case, you just always want to deal past their number as you deal cards, all right? So as I deal cards like this, just tell me when to stop. And you've already dealt past 5 cards, so maybe they say stop right here. And you just put the rest of the pack on top of those when they say stop. So if their number was 8, you just want to keep in mind you have to deal past 8 before they say stop. All right, you can do that easily just with your words. Now you say, look, there's no way I could have known when you would say stop. But maybe I had a feeling about when you would say stop, and maybe about where your card might land at when you did that, or whatever you want to say, right? So you say, look, 7 plus 4 is 11. Do me a favor, count down 11 cards in that packet. So they do, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Always their chosen card at the predicted number. And you, this is also a magician fooler, all right? Because there's maybe a magician could know about the automatic placement procedure, about how that works. But when they see this just fries them. Alright guys, so that's the trick. I really hope you enjoyed my addition to it, and go out there and try to do it. I will say though, for this to be completely impromptu and no setup, you will want to have a full deck of cards, okay? Because what if you run into this, where you see that the bottom card is, let's say, the 2 of hearts, and you don't have you don't have the 9 of hearts in the deck. That would be a problem because you would need that 9 of hearts for the trick. So it would be kind of awkward to go back and say, whatever. So it's always best to use a full deck. That way you always have the correct cards, on hand to use.